Hey, wasn't that a great postseason? That was just great. That was like probably one of the highlights of the pre-pandemic era is when the Cubs sensationally got closer and closer in the postseason, and then they pulled it out of the bag. That was an amazing moment. I remember vividly after the game was over, people wouldn't leave the stadium. They were just like singing. I forget what the name of the Cubs song is, but they were just singing and they weren't leaving. And I was just like, "This is it. This is baseball." Okay, so sympathetic. How do we go about this in the library catalog? Well, let me show you. There is stuff written about it. Not a lot, but there is stuff that you can use to contribute. So the first one, obviously, is the World Series. So what we would do is do the Chicago Cubs in quote marks because we want those two words to stick together, because otherwise we might get Chicago here and we might get Cubs there, but we want those explicitly stuck together. Um, and then in an extra line, there's and. So we could do postseason and we could do playoffs, but that wouldn't capture World Series. So we put that in quotes too. And so what we would do when we're doing something like this is we're keeping notes on the side, which I'm doing because this is going to start our search, but then they'll talk about like why this was such a big deal. Or if it happened before the World Series, they'll talk about maybe like the curse or this legacy or the fans or the dedication. So let's start with this. And every time we do a search, there's books. I'm guessing you have to find peer-reviewed or scholarly articles, but there is like a ton of stuff going on that you could use. So we're looking for other keywords. So like curse, the dawn of that's no good. The bean eaters, no, that's not good. We want to find out like what made it special. So there's like ambiguous words. So the curse is a big one, but we also talk about the fans. But let's narrow down to peer-reviewed journals. Let's move my head. So we have to apply the filters for peer-reviewed journals, and let's see what's going on. So this is kind of like, yeah, that's kind of like in the frame. A story. Ooh, Destiny? I'm not sure if that's one. Oh, here we go. Identity. That's a good one. And we saw curse in the other one. Ooh, fans. That's a big one. They're talking about gambling. Okay, so we've got some to work with. So let's go and modify our search. And let's add World Series, but what else matters? So let's do or fans, or fan, or identity, or loyalty was another one that I'd found. The curse has to be in here, or curse. I don't know if legacy would be in there. So we don't know what authors are using to describe the tumultuous events. You get to pick through and see which ones matter to you, but we're trying to gather the biggest, most relevant pile. So let's see. Fans, curse, identity, loyalty. Okay. So when I put an or in between these, it's going to get World Series, but then it's also going to grab these other keywords too. Fans. Okay, let's see what we get here. So we had, how many did we have? Oh, we had 13 peer-reviewed articles. Now don't get excited at that number. We have to go back. Oh, we doubled it. Yay. So we get some of the same ones. Chicago Cubs Destiny. This is peer-reviewed, but they're talking about Destiny. Let's look at the abstract. What? Hospitality and tourism? I want to see the abstract. Oh, some of these are terrible. Some of these databases won't go. Oh, there we go. Na, 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 na. Okay, this is just kind of like, that's kind of biased. I don't know why that's peer-reviewed. It might be an editorial. Here we go. A closer look at the brand loyalty of Chicago Cubs baseball fans. There we go. There's a study. So we're looking for evidence-based things. Oh, there's a restaurant called Wrigleyville. Brand loyalty. Okay, so this is where they're looking at a very, very focused moment. And they're looking at data points that enhance loyalty. One is like being a kid and going to a Cubs game. So there's one. The psychology of Cubs fans, that one looks good. Team identity, there's a history, that one's meh. We already saw that one. So there's some to pick through, but what you'll have to do is decide what's going on. And you might refer to like what happened before. There's gambling. No. Oh, there's not a lot of evidence-based ones. Oh, public relations. Baseball culture. I like anger management in there. Oh, the Heterotopia. Cubs fans. So it looks like a lot is on fandom. So you get the idea. So you can try these keywords, but see if you can't find other ones. But it's kind of tough, so you might have to supplement it with other things like the legacy and the curse and that qualitative fan appreciation. But this is how I would go about it. Let me know how it goes.